The biggest financial mistake of your life is staring you right in the face, and most of you are about to sign the contract. I'm George Sterling. I've made millions in real estate, and I've seen portfolios evaporate overnight. The difference between a legacy wealth move and a financial suicide comes down to one thing: data. Cold, hard, and often ugly data. Right now, as we move into 2026, the American real estate map is being redrawn. While your local realtor is telling you that now is the best time to buy, they are hiding the truth. A house is not always an investment. Often, it is a cash-eating monster, a consumption item that drains your capital through property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. But there is a bigger danger lurking. You aren't just buying four walls and a roof. You are buying into an economic ecosystem. You are buying into a tax structure, a labor market, and a migration pattern. And right now, there are 5 states in this country that have become economic graveyards. Migration data is screaming at us. Businesses are fleeing. The tax base is shrinking. If you park your hard-earned capital in residential real estate in these states, you aren't an investor. You are a victim holding the bag for a dying system. In this masterclass, I'm putting 5 specific states on my kill list. I don't care about your feelings, and I don't care about the weather there. I care about your purchasing power. We're going to look at the numbers because numbers don't lie. People do. Are you ready to see which states are about to become financial quicksand? Welcome to the Real Estate Wake-Up Call. Why is it that 2 houses with the same square footage, the same number of bedrooms, and the same materials can be worth millions in one zip code and virtually worthless in another? It isn't the bricks, it's the economic ecosystem. There is a massive, invisible divergence happening in America right now. We are witnessing a historic reshuffling of power from the old guard states to the new emerging powerhouses. The primary force here is migration. People follow tax policy like water follows gravity. In 2026, we are seeing a great migration of the middle class and high earners fleeing from states that treat their citizens like subjects to be taxed rather than customers to be served. When the highest earners leave, the state is forced into a death spiral. They raise taxes on those who remain to plug budget holes, which drives even more people out. If you own real estate in a state with a shrinking tax base, your property value isn't an asset. It is a liability waiting for a market crack. Capital is like a nervous deer. It runs where it is threatened and stays where it is protected. The systemic flaw in the American psyche is the dangerous belief that a primary residence is always an investment. Let me give you the George Sterling reality check. A house is a consumption item. It eats your capital every single month. Property taxes, homeowners insurance, maintenance, the roof, the furnace. It is a cash flow monster. Real estate only transforms into an investment when the fundamentals of supply, demand, and economic growth outweigh those costs. Right now, in 5 specific states, those fundamentals are catastrophically broken. You've been told that real estate always goes up. That is a lie sold to you by people earning a commission on the transaction. Real estate moves slowly until it cracks. And when it cracks in a state with high taxes and low job growth, the equity doesn't just dip, it evaporates. Buying into a rotting system because your parents told you it was safe is the quickest way to find yourself underwater in 2026. Emotional attachment is the greatest enemy of wealth. I talk to people every day who say, "But George, I love the summers in New York," or "My family has been in Illinois for 3 generations." I understand the sentiment, but the market has no heart. The market doesn't care about your childhood memories or the view from your balcony. It only cares about the cold mechanics of supply and demand. If you are making a 6-figure or 7-figure purchase based on emotion, you are making a consumer choice, not a business decision. At Prosperity Prism, we train you to look at data. We look at business formation, net domestic migration, and regulatory friendliness. If you cannot separate your feelings from your balance sheet, you will be the one holding the bag. while the smart money has already moved to Florida or Texas. Wealth requires the discipline to ignore the noise and follow the numbers. We are shifting your perspective right now. From this moment on, you are no longer a home buyer. You are an architect of capital. You do not buy a house. You buy a unit of economic opportunity. The prosperity Prism method is simple. We only invest where the government lives within its means. If a state government has massive unfunded pension liabilities and a hostile attitude toward business, why would you trust them with your life savings? We are pivoting away from the dying states and aggressively moving toward the powerhouse states. Every dollar you lock into a mortgage should be a soldier on the front lines, fighting for appreciation and equity growth. Don't send your soldiers into a graveyard of high taxes and shrinking populations. You want to be on the side of the board where the cranes are moving and the capital is flowing. It's time to audit your real estate future with 3 specific steps. Step 1. Check the migration data. Look at the net domestic migration for 2025 and 2026. If more Americans are leaving than arriving, the demand for housing is dying. Walk away. Step 2. Analyze the true tax burden. Don't just look at the home price. Look at the property tax as a percentage of value. In states like New Jersey or Illinois, you might be paying $20,000 to $30,000 a year just for the right to live in your own home. That's a permanent rental payment to the government. Step 3. Track the corporate exodus. Are major employers like Boeing, Caterpillar, or Tesla moving their headquarters? When a billionaire or a Fortune 500 company leaves a state, they are taking the high-paying jobs and a tax base with them. Without those jobs, there is no one to buy your house when you're ready to sell. For those aiming for the top 1%, we play a game called tax-efficient reallocation. If you are sitting on equity in a high-tax, low-growth state, you are fighting a losing battle against the tide. The advanced play is to utilize a strategic exit to move that equity into high-velocity markets. We look for arbitrage, selling an overvalued, low-growth asset in a place like Connecticut and buying a fundamentally sound, high-growth asset in a place like Tennessee or North Carolina. You want to be where the demographics are working for you, not against you. In 2026, the real wealth transfer is happening through capital flight. The elite are moving their pieces before the local tax bombs explode. They are moving into jurisdictions that reward ownership instead of punishing it. Let's look at the cold, hard proof. Consider 2 individuals. One buys a $600,000 home in Austin, Texas, and the other buys a $600,000 home in Hartford, Connecticut. The person in Austin might feel they overpaid because the market was hot. But Austin is a magnet for tech, youth, and capital. In 10 years, that house is likely worth $1 million because the demand is relentless. Now look at the Hartford owner. The population is flat, taxes are rising, and the insurance industry is decentralized. In 10 years, that house might struggle to sell for what they paid for it. The Hartford owners saved on the purchase price, but lost $500,000 in potential growth. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. The architect understands that a deal in a dying city is actually a trap. Before you sign that 30-year commitment, you must avoid the real estate killers of 2026. Killer 1. The low inventory illusion. Don't assume a market is strong just because there are few houses for sale. If people aren't moving there, low supply won't create long-term value. Killer 2. The pension bomb. If your state is billions of dollars in debt to retired government workers, they have only one way to pay: your property taxes. Killer 3. The remote work correction. Many suburbs were priced based on a commute to a city center. If that office is now a ghost town, the premium for that suburb is an illusion. If you don't have to be in Manhattan or Chicago 5 days a week, the value of being close is evaporating. In the end, this is about legacy. Real estate is the most significant purchase most people ever make. Doing it the old way in California, Illinois, or New York might make you look successful to your peers, but the math says you are moving backward. I'm George Sterling. I want you to be the one who owns the future, not the one who subsidizes a broken past. Reclaim your capital. Reclaim your autonomy. Look at the data, ignore the marketing noise, and protect your family's financial security. If you are ready to stop being a consumer and start being an architect, subscribe to Prosperity Prism. Comment "Architect" below if you are moving your capital to where the growth is. The 2026 reshuffle is here. Don't be the one left holding the bag. I'll see you in the next one.